Welcome to Breaking the Vow on Strong Island Radio. This is a show where we turn pain into power and find recovery after divorce, separation, and breakups. This is where we push the emotional hang-ups to the side and create a plan to reach our best possible potential. This is where the next chapter starts and how the healing begins. So let's welcome your hosts, Theresa D. and Benny, the life coach.
Welcome to episode 9 of Breaking the Vow. I am Theresa D. and I'm here with my co-host,
Benny, the life coach.
And we have a great show for you today.
We do. And we have, of course, the greatest of all greats, Fess Up When You Mess Up with Fran.
Yay!
Fran Crangle.
Hi, Fran.
Hey, how you doing, guys?
Good.
Very good. So I have a question. I started before we
You
started.
always have a question.
That's what life's for. You ask. And so here it is. I'm watching this movie last night, and I'm thinking about the way life is. And I'm thinking about the fact that people live their entire life, and they never seem to get what they want. And they live in this sense of like indecision almost. So at what point do you just make that decision that, no, you know what? This isn't the life I wanted. It's the life I have. So a lot of the reasons behind divorce is because we're not going in the direction we want to go.
Right.
And that's unfair.
If you don't know where you're going, you can get there by any road.
You absolutely can, but there are times that people make a decision to marry or stay in a marriage when their needs really aren't met. When is it okay to say, hey, you know what? I got to put myself first. And Fran, I wanted to put that to you. Like, when is it your turn to have the life you want?
I think it's all the time. I think that, even going into marriage or a partnership or a union, that, we have to remember that it's two individuals coming together, right? So it's partly our need, partly our wants, partly our desires, and to have that communication. And maybe we're not on the same plane as the other person. And, I think one thing that gets lost when we're partnering up or having unions is that we change as individuals. We grow all the time. And that's not a bad thing. That's not a bad thing.
No, it's not.
And right. You remember in high school, we would get like when people did Sunday yearbook, don't ever change. And we thought that was the coolest thing. Actually, that's the worst thing to say, right?
Right,
because
it
people
is.
do change.
Right.
And if we're, but we're taught that. We go back to, when we talked before, that we go into these subconscious kind of thinking patterns that this is how things should be. This is how
The
marriage should be.
blueprint.
Right.
The blueprint.
The blueprint,
Right.
yeah.
Right. Well, you have
Exactly.
these trained biases that this is what life is supposed to look like.
Right.
You're told at birth, this is what life's going to look like. This is what's going to happen. You want to be this way. You want to look this way. You want to act this way. Everything is kind of spoon-fed to you, from music to fashion to food.
Everything, yeah.
To food. Think about it. Everything is like a fad.
Yeah.
So I
so
grew
true.
up. I grew up not eating sushi.
You tried the keto diet, didn't you?
I did try the keto diet. I did try the keto diet. I'm a meat eater, so I
He's
was
a
good with
meat
that.
Potato guy.
Yeah.
Well, the potatoes pose the problem.
Yeah, of
But
course.
Yeah.
the potatoes can be
Yeah.
the problem. But
Yeah.
I like food a lot. I really do. I eat weird food. With some of wait a second.
Gross food.
No, so there's a private challenge that I have. There are people that follow me on my
It's gross.
social. I understand, but it's gross with a purpose. There are people that I have in my life that I'm blessed to have in my life that have something going on, and on my social media page, I get dared to eat weird foods. Like I've eaten like a grain egg, which that was bad.
Vomit.
Which was the worst? What do you think was the worst?
That egg.
The bull balls was pretty bad.
The egg was disgusting, Ben.
The bull balls, the duck egg.
Bull balls, I would think would be worse than the egg.
You know why? Because it was like jerky, so it was tough.
That's
It tastes
disgusting.
very minerally and very liver-y, like a
Okay.
liver.
So what does minerally taste like?
That.
Ew.
Eat a bull. You'll find
Gross.
out. And then there was like a
Fran,
hard.
it's vile.
There was like a hard vein.
I know,
But you
I
I
what?
want to vomit.
Listen, people.
I know.
The thing about it to me that I'm like, someone is like, hey, I'm hungry. I want a snack. Oh, I have that in the cupboard. Like, where the
Fuck has that in the cupboard?
I didn't curse. I just want to point that out. Secondly, who has that in the cupboard? Like worms. I've eaten.
Why?
Because I was dared to. I got dared to drink a bunch of different flavored sodas. You remember that?
That was gross.
That was terrible. So there was like peanut butter and jelly soda.
Bacon soda.
Bacon soda was
Ew.
ridiculous. Ranch
Disgusting.
dressing soda.
Oh my goodness.
Pumpkin pie soda.
Ugh.
But you
I
know
can't.
What
what?
about steak sauce soda?
Ooh.
So you know what? If
There's
they
one,
had
Ben.
someone dared me to eat shrimp flavored soda.
Ew.
I think there's no
Oh, my
reason for that.
goodness.
No.
I'm probably gonna do it because they're gonna buy it and send it to me, and then I feel like obligated. But so here's why I do that. So I have people that, a lot of people I work with have high anxiety, high levels of depression, and they just need something to laugh about.
Mm-hmm.
And
they laugh their ass off
Sure.
at
yeah, because I'm like, I don't like it, like his little baby face. It's terrible.
Sure.
But I feel like, and I had a breakfast sandwich before we started, and I go, this just doesn't taste good.
you. Yeah, he didn't like it. I'm like, well, that never stopped you before.
Yeah, she goes, you have no right to not like
no
food
right
anymore. You
to
have
not like
absolutely-
something that comes out of Dunkin' Donuts.
Well, it's Dunkin' Donuts, man. I had, so they have like these zombie apocalypse meals ready to eat rations. So
Oh,
It's
okay.
like astronaut food, isn't it?
it is. It's like wartime.
Like MREs.
Yeah, MREs. God bless the
Right.
troops. Thank
Yeah.
you for all you do. We
I
love
love
you.
them.
But I'm sitting there eating this on a dare. Like they're eating this because this is all that they have. when
Right.
they're in
Can you
battle.
imagine if that was all you had to eat?
I'm sure they're not picking the cheeseburger one.
No.
So it's a cheeseburger, like vacuum sealed in a
Yes.
plastic pack.
A vacuum.
You saw that.
Yes, I did. A vacuum sealed burger.
And,
Who in
and
their
they
right
had-
mind if
oh
they
my
didn't have
God.
to?
Ugh, and the cheese was with jalapeno.
All right, so I'm starting to get sick. Stop it.
All right, we're not going to talk about that. We're going to go back to when is it your turn to be happy? And as silly as it sounds, look, I know it doesn't make sense because I do a lot of speaking events and I do a lot online. But I have anxiety disorder. I have social anxiety disorder. I am painfully afraid. Like right now, you at home can't see it, but we have a screen so we can all see each other, and I'm uncomfortable
Why?
because I can see my face.
So?
I'm
Do
uncomfortable.
you have mirrors in your house?
Yeah, and I'm uncomfortable with
You're
them
perfect.
too.
Stop
I
it.
love you too, but this is what it's like when you have these disorders. So similar to like rejection.
But Ben, I would do this. I would change the word that you're using.
Yeah.
Disorder. What does that mean? And it's like a negative word.
I
would
never
say
liked the word
maybe-
disorder, but they try
Right.
to give you.
Change it to like challenge.
Yes.
I like
that's
challenge.
a good word.
Well,
I like the
I
word
never say the
challenge.
word. So one of the things, which we're going to get to in a little bit after the break, there's certain words that Fran doesn't use, and I admire that so much.
Yeah.
And
Because Ben, the whole class was looking at me when you were dropping the word, and they're looking at me like, "Are you gonna get him? Are you gonna get him? Like you get us?"
Go get him,
gotta get
Fran. Get him.
well, so words you use words due to commonality. So you're trained. Again, we talk about these. The word crazy. I don't want to even mention the guy's name because he's not he's infamous, not famous. And he goes, "Yeah, I'm crazy. I'm mad as a hatter. What's the difference? It used to mean something to be crazy. Nowadays, everyone's crazy." And the way he said that, I remembered, that there was this dignity behind that word, crazy. Like, well, as a guy, you want to be tough. I was working with a client yesterday, and
But do you have to be tough? Or you're just programmed to be tough?
the idea is fear.
Yeah.
So your life is not designed to be lived behind the curtain. You're not supposed to live afraid of people.
Right.
You're first off, your body, your chemical makeup can't take that. You're not supposed to live in fight or flight mode. I always
Right.
talk about the deer on the side of the road. You've heard this story a
Yeah.
million times. So a deer sees something, says, "Oh, I gotta run," runs to safety, and then goes back to doing whatever it is a deer does. We're built like that. But what happens is that deer is going to go back to eating grass or thinking like, "Hey, I want to go over there." the human species is crazy because all we do
Use
is
the word
live in it.
crazy.
We just keep living in it. We keep living in the same patterns. We have this habitual sense.
All right, so what do you do to break the cycle?
I have to
But
replace it. Go ahead.
here's the thing, though. We like predictability, right?
Yeah.
We like to know whether it is positive or negative.
Right.
It's the predictability. When something we don't know makes us uncomfortable, that's what a lot of times makes us stuck and redo these patterns, right?
And that's why
You're
people
right,
stay with the
Fran.
pain.
Right.
That is why people stay with pain.
Yes.
Because what do I do?
Right, it's what they know.
What am I going to be next?
Right.
So we're going to get to this in a minute, but in the face of divorce, right? If I am not so and so's husband or so and so's wife,
who am I?
Who am I next? All right, so let's pay a few bills and
we'll be right back.
Replenish the coffee, and that's that.
Hey Ben, did you know 65% of people have curly hair, and the biggest problem that holds them back from embracing their curl is
Frizz.
yes.
Frizz.
Good job.
I pay attention.
Do. Curl Evolution in Babylon Village is solving that problem as Long Island's top curly salon.
No more frizz.
No more frizz.
Okay.
They specialize in cuts and colors just for curls. But what's different about this salon is that you don't just get a haircut, you have an entire experience.
I like that.
Yeah. A customized lesson of how to style your unique texture, as well as a deep treatment to hydrate curls and reduce frizz.
So I have watched people with curly hair literally destroy their hair because they wanted it to look better, and then it just looked worse.
Right.
So here's a silly question. Why not just go to the people that do it like professionally?
Curl Evolution.
I would go there.
You should.
I will.
233 East Main Street, Babylon Village, New York, 11702, 631-422-4200.
Nice. So, 631 Tire and Wheel at 666 West Hoffman Avenue, Lindenhurst, New York, 11757. That's 631tire.com at 631-412-5165. You ask for Tommy. You tell him Theresa D or Benny the Life Coach sent you. Trust me when I tell you, he will solve all of your tire needs.
Oh, Ben, didn't some guy call you?
He did. This is the guy for the boat, the ATV, and the
Yes,
wave runner and all
the
that
patio
stuff.
furniture. He's like selling everything, right?
He's looking to get out of Dodge. So he said, hey, he called me and I go, how you doing, buddy? He goes, I listened to what you said. I went to rap-america.com. I found out what to do. I got these wraps with reusable zippers, covers. I covered everything. The guy Tommy was like the nicest guy to deal with.
Of course he is.
And of course, who helped him? He mentioned your name, not mine. And he goes, I'm sure he likes you too. But
I love that, Tommy.
He likes Theresa more than he likes you. Either way, he called 516-830-0040, asked for Tommy, and all of his needs were taken care of.
Hey, Ben, are we getting out of here on time today?
No.
It's
But
your
wait
fault.
a second, it is. I keep messing up on a lot of things, folks. I know you're listening at home, but I mess up. I make mistakes. And you know why? It's because I'm hungry.
Yes.
I'm hungry, so
No, you get hangry.
I do get hungry.
You do.
You get frustrated.
I do. You're right.
You've thrown things at me in the studio.
I have.
Once or twice, maybe 3 times or more. But I have a solution. I think if we eat a good lunch, so if we go to Giovanni's Pizza, by the way, did you bring your dad home the chicken
Farm, yes.
He loves
His
that.
favorite.
I think
Yes.
Gio knows that.
Yeah, Gio knows that.
It's
Makes
a
it
great.
special just for him.
So, guys, I'm letting you know right now. Giovanni's Pizza, 1009 Little East Neck Road, West Babylon, New York, 11704, 631-669-9507. We are open, says they. Give them a call. So I want to get personal for a second. Not that we don't get personal on the show anyway. There is a 501c3 not-for-profit corporation helping children and families with unfortunate and unforeseen circumstances in Long Island. So HopeFloatsLongIsland.org helped me when I was doing an event for children with pediatric cancer. And half the people that were supposed to help us backed out.
Yeah.
We were on this beach.
I get it.
We have all these people coming, and everyone's coming to help us, and the vendors that were supposed to be there didn't show up. Hope Floats Long Island not only touched my heart, but they made the event happen.
Yeah.
And no one else knew. I had a heart attack, but the show went on, and that was like the greatest thing. So that's www.hopefloatsli.org, and you can email Theresa at hopefloatsli.org. All right, so now we're back, and we're going to get back into that. Who am I if? Well, I guess the core of that is who am I, right? Isn't that it? We're really the same person, aren't we?
Yeah.
I'm still the same guy.
Shell-wise.
I'm still the same guy that I was before I got married.
You are?
I've changed and I've improved and I've grown and I've matured.
You've done a 360. Let's just put it where it's at.
100%. Thank you. But at the same time, physically, I am still the same. I mean, my cells change. I understand that, but I'm still Ben. I still have the same history. I still have the same culture. I still have the same pastime.
Right.
But so who am I? None of that's going to change just because I made the choice to improve my life. Because no one has the right to stop you from improving your life. No one has the right.
Right.
So sometimes divorce is really a need to just improve.
Mm-hmm.
And if we looked at it along the lines of, hey, you know what? It's not a good thing, a bad thing. I'm not better than or worse than.
Right. It is what it is.
I just want to improve.
Right.
And I think that people often find themselves in this little quandary like, oh, what am I going to be like? Who's going to want to be with me? The whole dating question is which we've had. We've had funny shows about that, which I'm not talking about Starbucks or anything like that again, but at least not today. But I think you know, we connect with people and we start to wonder about who we are hinged upon other people. When we remove that, and we remove that hinge, that connection, then we have the right to be ourselves, don't we?
Mm-hmm.
So that's
but
why
I think what we were saying before the break too was that a lot of times we identify ourselves by labels or who we're connected with or what we're a part of, and lose sight of who we are outside of the labels we wear or the roles we play. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm so and so's wife, and now I'm getting divorced. Well, I'm not so and so's wife. Who am I?
You know.
Right?
As a member of someone in recovery and someone that identifies as sober, right, or whatever that means, for a long time, that was who I was. That was my identity, which in fact it's not. It is the smallest part of me. Because first off, my drinking and drug career was very young.
I like that you call it a career.
Well, it wasn't me.
No, totally was not you.
It wasn't me. It was me behaving. It was me responding.
Yes.
It was a million different things other than.
It was you lashing out.
100. Well, it was lashing out. It was certainly a chemical imbalance. I mean, right. I grew up with depression. I was born from it. I know what it means to just be so completely trapped inside myself, and I didn't know how to. Listen. People talk about suicide, and really what it is you just want things to stop, but nothing stops. The world keeps going. You just want to catch a break. You just want to breathe, but there's no way to breathe because life keeps happening. Life keeps happening.
Right.
And one
clock
news
keeps going.
Yeah, one news after the other news, and then then you're trying to make it. You're just trying to find yourself in that little social circle. You're trying to find yourself in a place where you fit, and then it doesn't fit.
Right.
It doesn't fit because you don't realize that you are perfect the way you are. I didn't realize for the longest time that I am absolutely fine the way I am. I have everything I need to be successful. We all do. There is a trick. There's a trick.
What trick?
Well, the thing is, we've believed these lies. We believed in this caste system. We believe in this program, this subconscious program, and these trained biases that this is who you have to be. Once you free yourself from that bias, and once you free yourself from that past,
Yeah.
now all of a sudden you can actually create a map to the future.
Right.
That is amazing. That is amazing. So I want to acknowledge something really quick. I had the opportunity through Fran to speak with some of Fran's students. And at the same time, I am celebrating a 30-year anniversary of being away from a life that nearly killed me.
Go, Ben.
I worked hard for that.
You did.
You know,
Yes,
and as
absolutely.
somebody that doesn't mean 30 years were great. That didn't mean I didn't struggle. That's
Right.
That's not what life is. Struggle.
Absolutely.
Right. The
Life
struggle is real.
100%. So the greatest thing was to watch your students. By the way, look at me, and
How old are they? How old are they, Fran?
They range.
College.
College
range.
kids. Okay.
So the ages range. There was one woman there that
And he didn't scare the crap out of them?
not this one.
Oh no, not this time. No.
Not this time?
That was a while ago.
That was the first time. No. They loved him because they
good.
already read Operation Depression.
Right.
That read. So that was part of it. But they just really embrace him, and the way he engages with them, they just love him. I think they would rather, Ben, for you to come every week than for me. And that's great. That's good.
Thank you.
It was so moving. And they continue to talk and how much just, the way you are, you inspire them. You're authentic.
You're inspiring, Ben.
Thank you.
Authentic and, just being real. And they could relate to you. You're not preaching at them. You're being you and
All right,
telling your
Fran,
story.
you're making his head really big. He's not going to be able to fit out the door.
I'm the talent. That's what they tell me.
Yeah, exactly. But it's just amazing. It's amazing. So thank you.
And in fairness, for anyone listening, I'm really not a big-headed guy. I'm pretty insecure, actually. I'm actually squirming in my chair because I can see my face on a video screen. So the great thing is, what I love about what you do is you teach people how to help others. And it's funny when you do these lectures and I get personal. So I also I allow my emotions to come out. I'm afraid. So I'm intimidated, I'm afraid, and I have all this old logic surfacing when I speak. So it's all that, well, you never went that far. You're not a college guy. Who are you to give a lecture? But these are the tapes in my head. Like, you're not good. What do you want? They didn't like your book. They had to read it for class. And then I actually invite that. I made a deal with myself, my inner demons. I said, I'll let you
have inner demons?
100%. And I said, I'm going to let you come out. I'm going to let you guys surface, and I'm going to let you have a voice.
Wow.
Yeah,
Was it like an exorcism?
Kind of. Well,
Yeah.
Fran seen me go off on classes. Like,
Yeah.
in the jail, I used to. So I ran a 2-year program in a jail, and then some of them came out and they went to Breakfast with Benny, which I run.
The demons came out and went to Breakfast with Benny?
They come there too. So these guys get out of jail, and they went to one of my private groups. And I'm sitting down. I'm not standing up. I'm calm. There's food on the table.
You're calm?
Right. So there's food on the table, and they're like, "Wait a second, man." I go, "This is a little different than the jail." They're like, "You ain't kidding." I'm like, "What does that mean?" They're like, "You come blasting through that door." I'm like, "That's because I got to get you guys to listen to me."
Yeah.
I'm going to sit down and be quiet. First off, you can't hear anything in that room where they have it anyway, but I make myself loud. I'm not quiet. But, I think that what I love about seeing people get well is you get to defy all of that narrative, all the old subconscious programs, all the old training that you've lived according to. You get to defy every second of it.
When, though?
The moment you choose. The moment you give yourself the permission to be the person you choose to be.
Right.
It's such a freeing thing. How many years do people live according to that wrong blueprint like you brought up?
Right.
How many people live in fear? How many people live behind a mask or live
Too
behind
many.
a shield?
Too
Life
many.
is not intended to be lived in order to protect yourself all the time.
Right. True.
You know, you're supposed to sing and dance. I know what it's like.
I always sing and dance.
Yes, you do. You don't sing quite as well as you thought, but you
I
do
don't.
sing. You sing. You
But
do
I'm a legend in my own mind.
you know, in the shower, I'm sure it sounds great. But, you know, and listen, I can't say anything. My voice is horrible. I was driving. I don't want to say how fast I was driving because.
We don't ever want to tell them how fast you were driving.
I was pedaling kind of quickly, listening to a Pearl Jam song.
I love Pearl Jam.
I was screaming it at the top of my lungs. And then, like, I look at someone driving next to me who one of us is getting into an accident because I'm looking at them, looking at me like, what the hell's the matter with that guy? You know what? I gave myself permission to sing. It wasn't up to that person in the other car.
Right. They weren't listening
Exactly.
to you.
You know what they weren't doing? They weren't paying attention to
Attention
the
to the
person
road.
who
Right.
braked in front of them. And I get to keep going. So, you know, life is meant to be lived.
Yes.
You know, and what happens is
agree.
when you're in the wrong setting, how are you going to reach your best possible potential? When all you do is think through an emotional mindset, how are you going to reach your best? So
can't.
we're going to get back. We're gonna take a break real quick, and get back to
Pay some bills.
Pay some bills. Listen.
I need more coffee.
I think I do need more coffee.
Yeah.
And Fran, we'll be right back.
All right. Very good.
Hey, Ben, did you know 65% of people have curly hair? And the biggest problem that holds them back from embracing their curl is?
Frizz.
Yes!
Frizz.
Good job.
I pay attention.
Do. Curl Evolution in Babylon Village is solving that problem as Long Island's top curly salon.
No more frizz.
No more frizz.
Okay.
They specialize in cuts and colors just for curls. But what's different about this salon is that you don't just get a haircut, you have an entire experience.
I like that.
Yeah. A customized lesson of how to style your unique texture, as well as a deep treatment to hydrate curls and reduce frizz.
So I have watched people with curly hair literally destroy their hair because they wanted it to look better, and then it just looked worse.
Right.
So here's a silly question. Why not just go to the people that do it like professionally?
Curl Evolution.
I would go there.
You should.
I will.
233 East Main Street, Babylon Village, New York, 11702, 631-422-4200.
Nice. So, 631 Tire and Wheel at 666 West Hoffman Avenue, Lindenhurst, New York, 11757. That's 631tire.com at 631-412-5165. You ask for Tommy. You tell him Theresa D or Benny the Life Coach sent you. Trust me when I tell you, he will solve all of your tire needs.
Oh, Ben, didn't some guy call you?
He did. This is the guy for the boat, the ATV, and the
Yes.
wave runner and all
the
that
patio
stuff.
furniture. He's like selling everything, right?
He's looking to get out of Dodge. So he said, hey, he called me and I go, how you doing, buddy? He goes, I listened to what you said. I went to rap-america.com. I found out what to do. I got these wraps with reusable zippers, covers. I covered everything. The guy, Tommy, was like the nicest guy to deal with.
Of course he is.
And of course, who helped him? He mentioned your name, not mine. And he goes, I'm sure he likes you too. But
I love that, Tommy.
He likes Theresa more than he likes you. Either way, he went to called 516-830-0040, asked for Tommy, and all of his needs were taken care of.
Hey, Ben, are we getting out of here on time today?
No, But
your
wait
fault.
a second, it is. I keep messing up on a lot of things, folks. I know you're listening at home, but I mess up. I make mistakes. And you know why? It's because I'm hungry.
Yes.
I'm hungry, so
No, you get hangry.
I do get hangry.
You do.
You get frustrated.
I do. You're right.
You've thrown things at me in the studio.
I have.
Once or twice, maybe 3 times or more. But I have a solution. I think if we eat a good lunch, so if we go to Giovanni's Pizza, by the way, did you bring your dad home the chicken
Farm, yes.
He loves
His
that.
favorite.
I think Gio knows that.
Yeah, Gio knows that.
It's the
Makes
the greatest.
special just for him.
So, guys, I'm letting you know right now. Giovanni's Pizza, 1009 Little East Neck Road, West Babylon, New York, 11704, 631-669-9507. We are open, says they. Give them a call. So I want to get personal for a second. Not that we don't get personal on the show. Anyway, there is a 501c3 not-for-profit corporation helping children and families with unfortunate and unforeseen circumstances in Long Island. So HopeFloatsLongIsland.org helped me when I was doing an event for children with pediatric cancer. And half the people that were supposed to help us backed out.
Yeah.
And we were on this beach.
I get it.
We have all these people coming, and everyone's coming to help us, and the vendors that were supposed to be there didn't show up. Hope Floats Long Island not only touched my heart, but they made the event happen.
Yeah.
And no one else knew. I had a heart attack, but the show went on, and that
Yes,
was
it
like the
did.
greatest thing. So that's www.hopefloatsli.org, and you can email Theresa at hopefloatsli.org.
And we're back.
All right. I want to put this to you, Therese.
Mm-hmm.
So when that moment comes to make the decision to have a change, and yes, we're talking about divorce, what happens is, and we had a great question come up, like, what do you do with that loss? How do you not lose yourself in the event of that loss?
I think initially you do lose yourself because it's very hard, especially for women, to define who they are without their significant other. So I have seen it where a woman has lost themselves so much that it takes a very long time for them to evolve and become the person they want to be.
So there's something that is very meaningful, and I'm going to bring this out. There's 3 words. Actually, I can. And I think those 3 words.
It's right here, Francie.
So for those
Yeah.
at home who can't see, this is tattooed on Theresa's wrist. Actually, I can. Saying actually I can is a decision.
That's great.
Everything you do is based to honor a need, a thought, a want, a feeling, or whatever. That decision to say, actually, I can, is the permission
Yes.
you needed
Yes.
to find yourself.
Yes. Absolutely.
To each their own, right? So everyone has their own pathway.
Yeah.
So there's no one size fits all answer.
No, there
Right.
not
Absolutely.
And especially when you have kids, right, Fran? Like, you don't want to let the kids see you fall apart. You don't want to let anybody around you see that you're falling apart. You become that shell, but then you have no choice but to evolve, I feel.
Here's the great news. I have great news for everyone. The most wonderful thing, the most wonderful permission you could give yourself is to allow yourself to be human.
Yeah.
And that's where we fail ourselves, because we come at ourselves with this unrealistic sense of judgment. First off,
We're our own worst critics.
we are. We can either be our own best, we could be worst critic or best friend.
Right.
And we have to learn how to be that hero. We have to learn how to be that friend. And it's very difficult because chances are, even if anyone's looking at him like, oh, that's Ben, he used to be married.
Oh, wait, I have a question for Fran.
Okay.
Fran, when you are counseling children that are in a divorce and the mom is a complete basket case, are those children worse off because they're seeing their parents' emotions, or do you think that the ones that hide behind it and put the brave face on are those children are more brave? I don't know. Would you say that?
Well, it's a balance. It really is a balance. So, I would say either extreme is not healthy for
Right.
the parent as well as the child. So if you're just all the time just like crying or in this emotional state, that's not healthy for you nor for your child to see.
Right.
But at the same token, it's not healthy to be like everything's fine, and it's not. And it's okay to show that humanness as a parent, which I think we forget a lot. The shoulda, coulda, wouldas are always there. I should do this, I should do that. Because one big thing that happens out of that on that extreme when we're covering and, the child senses, knows, you don't have to say it, they know. It's like they're like sponges. What you're instilling in them that's going to affect them later on in life is not to question their own gut. We all have a gut feeling.
Right.
We kind of know something is not right. But when the child is like, something is not right, and you're like, no, everything's fine, they're going, oh. So they
but it really isn't. So they see that.
Right. And that's a balance because you're also role modeling too. Right. So it's okay to say, I have different feelings, or, mommy or daddy feels this way, or, without bashing the other parent. Right. To show that humanness and that modeling, it's okay to feel, it's okay to express your feelings, right? It's all how we do it. So.
Right. It's all in how we do it. So what would you suggest? Like, you don't want to be the basket case, but you don't want to be fake and put the brave face on. So what is that balance? How do you let your children see you going through all of this?
Well, obviously, again, we go back to what's age appropriate as well.
Right.
What, children, regardless, I don't think should know everything that's going on between the parents because that's their relationship.
Right.
Right. So you could, if you're having feelings about being sad or whatever, that's okay to express, but if it's like all just crying all the time and they're consoling you, that's an issue.
Yeah, that becomes a problem. Yeah.
Well, the role
they become
reversal,
parentified then, right?
Mm-hmm.
The role reversal is very interesting. So let's go back to that family tree. You're taught what a mom is supposed to be. You're taught what a dad is supposed to be. Siblings. You're taught about these rules, and when you're taught about these boundaries.
Right.
And then if mom or dad is no longer the caretaker, which you assume they're supposed to be, that boundary is crossed. It's very difficult to uncross that.
Yes.
Right.
Secondly, there comes a time when it's okay to realize that parents make mistakes. It's okay to realize that parents are human. So we're taught and we hold ourselves to the same unrealistic standards. We are taught, mom, dad. There was a time where my dad knows everything. My mother knows everything.
Yeah.
Until you realize that they're human too.
Yeah.
Which means character defects, flaws.
Right.
Mistakes,
It's like a child when they see their teacher like out at the supermarket, like, oh, what are you doing here? You're supposed to be in the classroom. Like,
right, exactly. Right.
I've had people see me that know me through one form or another, and they saw me in a supermarket, and I got an email that they saw me, and I'm like, why didn't you say hello? They're like, I don't know. Like, I didn't know if I could. I'm like,
right.
What do you mean?
Why would you not say hello to me? That makes no sense. They're like, I don't know. You're always busy and doing something. Well, I was at a supermarket, man. Like, it wasn't that bad. Just say hello. But we have these crazy concepts in our head that people fit in these little tiny ideas.
Right.
So I remember reading All I Need to Know.
I learned in kindergarten.
One of my favorite. So I read that book when my father was dying. It's got a whole bunch of meanings. And Robert Fogland was talking about how he writes in this little cabin in the woods. Now, whatever it is, it doesn't look like what it looks like in my mind. But in my mind, I created this picture. And we create these pictures of people, of what we think they look like. It doesn't mean...
Yeah, especially if you don't know what they look like.
Right. And guess what? None of it's accurate.
Yeah.
None of it's accurate. Insecurities aren't accurate.
No.
Subconscious programs, not accurate. Your biases aren't accurate. We've been trained to believe they are. And therefore, I think, therefore, it must be.
Right.
What would it look like if we were to give ourselves a break rather than put ourselves to the ringer?
And stop Googling shit.
Oh, yeah. Stay away from Google.
Yeah. No, it's
Stay
true.
away from Google.
I mean, and
Stay
now
away from Google.
It's harder, right?
Yeah.
Kids, they're brought up in the social media.
Yeah, it's all
and
about
all
social media.
Instagram,
It's all
and
about it's all about being canceled. What the hell?
Oh, yeah.
I never heard about that.
Oh, cancel culture?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Cancel
I don't want to get
culture.
canceled,
The
so
hell
we're
is
not going to talk
that?
about it.
Right.
But-
We're not going to talk about it
Right,
because I don't
exactly.
want to get canceled.
So, and
true,
you know what?
right?
You bring up a valid point, which we're winding down to the next commercial, but I want to set this up. Think about the culture that children have to live with now.
Oh, I can't. I can't.
Right.
My
And-
heart
I
breaks.
never want to be young again.
No.
As a child.
No.
I totally want to be young again. That's just because
I
my
want to
body
be
hurts.
young in my generation.
Yeah, no. Exactly, man. Exactly.
My body hurts, so I could dig being young.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly.
I get out
I'm
of
with
bed,
you on that one.
my
Yeah.
bones
You
pop.
don't, and you're lucky you don't break a hip.
I don't know about that, but yeah, I kind of
All
know
right,
about
old
that.
man.
I have to walk down the stairs one step at a time in the morning. It's terrible, and I hear my wife laughing. I hear her laughing.
I
in the
am
other room.
sure Claire is laughing her ass off at
So
you.
I go right foot down one step, left foot down same step. Next step, right foot down one step,
right.
left foot down same
Right.
step.
Do you need a cane?
And I go, no, because I hold on to the side. I hold on to the rail, and I go. Sometimes in the middle, I'm like, oh God. And I didn't ask for this, you know.
Remove the stairs and put a slide.
I used to do that when I was drunk. Yeah, I used.
Chair.
Oh my
A
God.
chairlift.
Oh, you know what? My insurance might cover that. I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
my
No, I
God.
don't have to go up that high. It's 5 steps.
That's it?
Well, when I have
You
to
made
go-
it sound like
It's 10 steps.
you're climbing the pyramid.
No, but they're steep. So my house is high. It's very tall. So my bedroom is on the second level. And,
5 steps.
Yeah, those 5 steps are rough on me in the morning. I know people that walk down the steps backwards. Now, I know how I learned. It's almost like when I was drunk.
This one time?
Yeah, no,
when I was drunk?
when I was drunk, then it got so bad that I couldn't do the one step at a time thing. So I just slid down, and boom, 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 boom on my ass. 100%. All right, let's go to break and
we
let's
gotta
be
go to
serious.
break. We gotta pay some bills, get some coffee.
Let's be we'll be serious in 10 seconds.
Yeah. Hey Ben, did you know 65% of people have curly hair, and the biggest problem that holds them back from embracing their curl is?
Frizz.
Yes.
Frizz.
Good job.
I pay attention.
You do. Curl Evolution in Babylon Village is solving that problem as Long Island's top curly salon.
No more frizz.
No more frizz.
Okay.
They specialize in cuts and colors just for curls. But what's different about this salon is that you don't just get a haircut, you have an entire experience.
I like that.
Yeah, a customized lesson of how to style your unique texture, as well as a deep treatment to hydrate curls and reduce frizz.
So I have watched people with curly hair literally destroy their hair because they wanted it to look better, and then it just looked worse.
Right.
So here's a silly question. Why not just go to the people that do it like professionally?
Curl Evolution.
I would go there.
You should.
I will.
233 East Main Street, Babylon Village, New York, 11702, 631-422-4200.
Nice. So, 631 Tire and Wheel at 666 West Hoffman Avenue, Lindenhurst, New York, 11757. That's 631tire.com at 631-412-5165. You ask for Tommy. You tell him Theresa D or Benny the Life Coach sent you. Trust me when I tell you, he will solve all of your tire needs.
Oh, Ben, didn't some guy call you?
He did. This is the guy for the boat, the ATV, and
Yes.
the wave runner and all
the
that
patio furniture. He's like selling everything, right?
stuff. He's looking to get out of Dodge. So he said, hey, he called me and I go, how you doing, buddy? He goes, I listened to what you said. I went to rap-america.com. I found out what to do. I got these wraps with reusable zippers, covers. I covered everything. The guy Tommy was like the nicest guy to deal with.
Of course he is.
And of course, who helped him? He mentioned your name, not mine. And he goes, I'm sure he likes you too.
I love that, Tommy.
He likes Theresa more than he likes you. Either way, he went to called 516-830-0040, asked for Tommy, and all of his needs were taken care of.
Hey, Ben, are we getting out of here on time today?
No.
It's
But
your
wait
fault.
a second, it is. I keep messing up on a lot of things, folks. I know you're listening at home, but I mess up. I make mistakes. And you know why? It's because I'm hungry.
Yes.
I'm hungry, so
No, you get hangry.
I do get hungry.
You do.
You get frustrated.
I do. You're right.
You've thrown things at me in the studio.
I have.
Once or twice, maybe 3 times or more. But I have a solution. I think if we eat a good lunch, so if we go to Giovanni's Pizza, by the way, did you bring your dad home the chicken
Farm, yes.
He loves
His
that.
favorite.
I think Gio knows that.
Yeah, Gio knows that.
It's
Makes
a
it
great.
special just for him.
So, guys, I'm letting you know right now. Giovanni's Pizza, 1009 Little East Neck Road, West Babylon, New York, 11704, 631-669-9507. We are open, says they. Give them a call. So I want to get personal for a second. Not that we don't get personal on the show anyway. There is a 501c3 not-for-profit corporation helping children and families with unfortunate and unforeseen circumstances in Long Island. So HopeFloatsLongIsland.org helped me when I was doing an event for children with pediatric cancer. And half the people that were supposed to help us backed out.
Yeah.
And we were on this beach.
I get it.
We have all these people coming, and everyone's coming to help us, and the vendors that were supposed to be there didn't show up. Hope Floats Long Island not only touched my heart, but they made the event happen.
Yeah.
And no one else knew. I had a heart attack, but the show went on, and that
Yes,
was
it
like the
did.
greatest thing. So that's www.hopefloatsli.org, and you can email Theresa at hopefloatsli.org. All right, so we're back now. When my mother got sick, right? It was very difficult to be the one in charge. It was very difficult to field the phone calls from nurses. Are you Ben Kimmel? Yes. Is your mother? Yes. And then I'd be like, all right, just tell me what she did. It used to be that way when I would get in trouble. Someone would call my mother. Are you Alice Kimmel? Yes. Is your son Ben Kimmel? Yeah. What'd he do? And the phone calls are that way. Now, that role reversal, there's really nothing wrong with it. It's okay to say, I need help at any age to anyone of any age. But we're trained to believe that we are in a position of authority. But what would it be like if we were to offer ourselves the freedom to say, hey, I'm hurting. I could use a hug. I just want you to tell me I love you because I'm going through a really hard time. I don't want to feel lost. I don't want to put it on you, but you're my child. I love you. This is all. No one expected any of this to happen. Why is that not okay? I think that's actually a brilliant idea to just be honest. Allow yourself to be human. Say, I'm going through a hard time right now. How are you feeling? How are you feeling? How are you doing with all this? It's crazy. And I know we don't like to
Because
use
a
the
lot
word
of
crazy.
Yeah, we don't
You
use
know-
the word crazy.
But a lot of times we're also looking at that if I show this vulnerability of myself, that I don't have the answers, that all this, that I'm weak, right? That's the message. You have
Right.
to be strong. You have to tough it out. That's
Right.
not the case.
The-
And we're so much more easier and gentler with other people than we are to ourselves. And a lot of times
Yes.
one of the techniques I use is, when I hear people being harsh on themselves, which is human. We all do it.
Right.
I always say, I ask people who their best friend, the first name is. Imagine yourself that they came to you with their problem, and actually say their name and talk to them with your own stuff. But as you're talking to them and they go, hear it, because we're so much more gentler and we're okay with that, but we're not okay with ourselves having these vulnerable moments, these human moments.
You're absolutely right,
We're
Fran.
stuck in these roles.
Yeah.
And we, like Ben said, we have to tweak that, because these are the tapes. This is the messages that we get. But we also are part of our own destiny too, our own thing, our own choices. And we feel that we don't have choices, but we do.
Right. There's always a choice.
And
the
it's
choice
hard.
to
I'm not
talk.
saying it's easy. It's
Right.
hard.
It's not easy.
100% it's hard, but the choice to talk as opposed to not to talk, to put on that brave face, that persona, and fix your grin. Here's the problem with that. Anyone that tells me this is what I do, I'll ask, how's that working out for you? No one's going to say good, because at no point has your needs or your wants or your desires been met. Therefore, if you're not taking care of your needs, someone else is going to have to pay for that. And when you talk about divorce, and if you talk about children, if you haven't taken care of yourself, so it's the bottom of the pyramid. Everything that weighs upon you, that depends upon you, if you have not initiated self-care into your life, the problem that you're going to face is unfortunate, because what's going to happen is everything's going to cave in on you, because you've caved in on yourself. The one person you can't quit on, which we do frequently, is yourself.
Right.
And we actually, sabotage what we're trying to do anyway, right? We're trying to be there for people. But if we don't have any gas in the engine, it's not going to go.
Right.
So if we don't do that self-care and put the gas in our own engine, we're not going to be able to be there for others.
Right.
So it is so sabotaging in a lot of different ways. But we're human. It happens. We go in and out of this, right? Even myself, I can preach it. And but at the same token, I'm human and I go through it. Right. Because in the moment, right?
Right.
But to strive to have that. But self-care is so important. And we think it's selfish, which has a negative connotation. But selfish is actually a positive thing in certain respects, taking care of ourselves.
So when I create a program for a client, the fact that we set these goals for ourselves, great. You have a goal for yourself. What does that mean? So I give people an acronym, RASO. These are what your goals really need to be. Your RASO. What is realistic, attainable, sustainable to create the outcome. Your realistic, attainable, and sustainable outcome. That's really what you want to find out, because we have this idea, like, listen, when I started writing, I was like, okay, well, I want to be a best-selling author, and
that's going to be it.
It didn't happen yet, folks.
Yeah.
You can help me out there in Radio Land.
Yes.
Buy my book. No, I'm just kidding. Don't buy my book. Do it or don't. I don't care. But so the whole idea is we have these ideas set up for ourselves, and if they're not realistic and they don't come true, we immediately go to a sense of judgment and we put ourselves down.
Yes.
So
disappointment.
Right. Disappointment. I'm no good. See, all of those old messages are true. None of them are true, folks. None of them are true.
Fran, what do you suggest you do for that?
What, with the old messages?
Yes.
Yeah.
You're talking about? One, we have to acknowledge them, right?
Right.
We have to really.
But we don't want to dwell on them, correct?
Don't dwell on them. Acknowledge them. Kind of be like, where did I catch ourselves? Be mindful of the words we use.
Right.
Right. Actually, really be mindful of what we use, especially to ourselves, and go, where did that come from? And a lot of times you could trace it back to, the tapes that, either we've heard or people have said to us, and to kind of be like, is that really true or not? Do you know what I mean? So undoing those tapes is not easy either. But a lot of times how we feel about ourselves is because of those tapes or what we think. And we just have to acknowledge but not dwell. Everything is about balance, right?
Right.
We're not going to dwell on it, but acknowledge them and start to change the language. It is so easy to like, a lot of times we're like, oh, I have to do this, I have to do that. And it feels like a burden. It feels like an obligation, right? The reality, there's only a couple things we have to do in life, right? Part
Right.
of being alive is we die. That's a have to. You can't escape that one.
Right.
Taxes, we can do things or not do them. There's consequences on both sides. But if we simply change the word have to choose to, it has a different
Right,
feeling.
it does.
I'm not even going to go so far as go say I want to, because a lot of times we don't want to do things. Like,
Right.
would I have rather stay in bed a little bit more this morning? Sure.
Yeah.
But I chose to get up because I had to, just by changing
You
one
chose
word.
because you love us, Fran.
Well,
Exactly.
So we want to use words. So fear-based, shame-based, regretful-based words do not promote change. They keep you stuck.
Right.
Encouragement, empowerment. That's how lives change.
Yes.
Right? So I call out my fear. So as we wind down the show, with special thanks to everybody, as we wind down, we always close on a constructive conclusion. I call my fears out to the table because my fears. There's a passage that I like, and I don't like to get religious.
I call your fears out to the table too.
Yeah, I know you do. So there's this passage, and I don't like to do Bible quotes, but the demons were afraid of the light because it exposed their deeds. I put my demons in the light because I know if I tell on myself, if I put myself out there, I'm actually defying the narrative that you can't, you won't, you don't. Because I did, and I stepped and I moved forward. I think that I refuse to allow fear to be the reason why I don't do things anymore. It literally almost killed me. I refuse to live that life anymore. I mean, maybe listeners might not know, but I've seen Theresa go through changes, and I saw painfully, because she's a dear friend, I love her, but I saw things that you don't want to see in your friend. But then when I watched you defy your own cycle, and then now we have a show.
Right.
We have a freaking show. Can
We
you
do.
believe
I
that?
mean, that fear is so debilitating and makes us so stuck. And a lot of times that fear or the anxiety is so irrational. And then if we get past it just for a little bit, just take a little step,
Yeah.
it's amazing what's out there. Like you guys said, look at you. You're doing a show.
Yeah.
Who would have thought, right?
Right.
And it's amazing. Amazing. We just have to take that small step.
Yes.
Every so often, I'll see somebody. I saw somebody in Grand Central Station who I didn't see for years. First thing he said is, "Wow, you gained a lot of weight." I'm like, "Well, I'm glad I said hello to you, pal. Good to see you too. I'm not cursing. I'm still not cursing on the show." He's like, "Oh," so he starts going over a lot of things, and he's like, "Oh, you doing this?" And he starts telling me how my life's no good. I'm like,
Really?
"Holy! Why did I say hello to you?"
Right. Exactly. Who needs you?
I used to like you.
Right.
And I'm like, "All right, buddy, you go do your thing."
You go do you.
That man has an opinion. He has a picture. He has a version of me from that was so long ago. And who we are now is who we choose to be.
Yeah.
So I want to thank everybody for listening this week.
Yeah.
We love you. I love you. I love you. I love you.
I love you.
I love everyone.
Yeah.
I love you.
And
Thanks, Fran.
have a good one,
My
folks.
pleasure. I love this.